Computer. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Liminality Interview series number 5 with author and life coach. Excuse me, I'm looking at my notes. Laura Stevens, talking about the liminality of career change. Laura, thank you so much for being here with me this evening.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Laura and I are actually in the same writing group together. She is about to publish her first book, Never Again, the story of how I broke the cycle of abuse and found love, hope, and freedom, coming out this summer. So
Mhm.
a look on Amazon around June. Laura is a unique interview for me because the thing we're going to talk about, she is in the midst of right now. So some of the things that I've talked to other people about are things that have happened in the past, liminality, transition situations that they've been through. Laura is in the thick of it. So Laura's in the middle of kind of a chosen life change. She's got a job right now that pays the bills, and it's something she's good at and she's done for a while, but it is not exactly doing what she is called to do as her authentic self. Would you tell us more about that and maybe how that feels?
Sure. Yeah, I'd be glad to. Yeah, so as Carrie said, I'm working at a job that pays the bills. Um, I've always known that I wanted to be a healer or a helper. So even from a young age, when I was 17, going to church, I thought I was going to spread the word of God to the whole world. That because that's where I was at the time, going to
Mhm.
church, and it felt right for me, and I knew that I wanted to help people. And then reality came,
As
and
it often does.
yeah, yeah, I lost my mom at a young age, unfortunately, so I had to get a really decent job so I could support myself.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I mean, the situation was sad, but it was, I just needed to do the right thing. And so after taking some time, like the right thing in terms of what was needed in the present moment.
Right.
So even though I wanted to help people, I decided to apply for a government job. Um, and I was in school at the same time. So I was working actively towards my psychology degree as well. So I thought, well, this is a good opportunity. This is a good way to pay for my schooling.
Mhm.
So that was the mindset at the time, and here we are 15 years later, and
Yeah.
I'm still in that government job, and I'm still
Yeah, and that
doing the
just
thing.
happens, doesn't it? Life just
Yeah, it goes so quickly. So
So how are you in a
um,
position now where you're like, "Well, now's the time to change?" Like, what's clicked for you?
I think I just got to a place in my life and my healing journey as well where I couldn't ignore the signs anymore. Um, I help people all the time for free.
Mm.
So people will ask me for advice. They'll ask me what they should do to handle a certain situation. And because they know that I give good advice and they know that I've done the work to heal myself, right?
Have
So
that wisdom, yeah.
yeah. So the signs were pointing to moving into something like psychology, counseling, life coaching.
Mhm.
And like I had said, I did take psychology in university. So, like, I have the background for it and the life experience, but there was still something missing. And I think the biggest thing that happened was I wrote my book, and it opened up so many discussions with people in the group and so many opportunities for me to talk about what I do and what I want to do
Yeah,
more of in my
yeah.
life, which is life coaching. And I've had so many people since I started writing my book comment and tell me like how calming my voice is and how they
Mhm.
feel so safe, and like they can open up to me about anything, or
Yeah,
I can help them, guide them to their next decision in life. And that's just what I needed, was the reaffirmation, reassurance, whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
from other people that didn't know me before now.
Yeah, for
People
sure.
that just met me and could see that gift in me too.
Yeah. Boy, I
And
tell you, I had the same experience with the starting to write was like the
yeah,
linchpin really, and our fellow coaches, we have the same coaches, our book coaches, Darlene and Nicole, who always say, if you want to change your life, write a book.
book
And
exactly. And
that was your catalyst. Well, I'm wondering as you're going through this time though, how do you add practices? Because you've purposefully put yourself into you've seen liminal space as an opportunity, which is beautiful, but that doesn't necessarily make it any easier.
no, not at all.
And I like,
It's
no,
harder, maybe. I don't know.
maybe. What do you think you do in the way of self-compassion? Like, do you have any practices that you recommend even as a coach that
Mm,
you would share with us that are things that work for you to kind of get yourself through this time a little bit better?
yeah, I do actually. And going back to your earlier question of how it feels being in the liminal
Mm,
space, the feelings are new to me because I'd never really, like, I've been through transitions and changes in life before, but they were kind of forced upon me.
sure.
It was
Sure.
not something that I chose.
Yeah,
And
I think there's a difference. Yeah.
yeah, this time around it's been very um it's overwhelming,
Mm.
the feelings that come with it, because at one in one or on one hand, I guess you would say, it's you're excited to see what's going to happen, but on the other hand, you're so
Scared shitless?
scared. So yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was so fucking scared.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, what am I doing, what am I doing, what am I doing, this is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
And so that fear sometimes will hold you back, right? So
Yeah.
the compassion and the gentle, being gentle and having compassion for yourself is very important, when you're going through any type of liminal space in your life or transition.
I love
And
that word gentle, being gentle with yourself. That feels so
gentle, like a warm
eased.
hug. Give yourself a hug. You can even do
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
um, I practice meditation on a regular basis, and
Oh.
maybe that's not specific to being compassionate with yourself, but
Oh,
for
I
me,
think it is. I mean,
it
it's
is
like you
like
talk about in your book, me time.
me time. Yeah, you need to really practice the me time and the self-care. And part of my self-care is meditation, because
What is that?
I get
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm
gonna,
so curious
that's
what it
okay.
looks like for you. I've been
Yeah,
asking that to a lot of people recently, actually.
yeah. Um, no, that's okay. You go ahead. I was just kind of wrapping up what I was saying, anyways.
Yeah, no, I'd love to know what meditation looks like for you.
Yeah, so I actually have downloaded a guided meditation,
Okay.
and depending on what the feelings are that day, I might look for a guided meditation on anxiety, or a guided
Okay.
meditation um, for sleep if I'm having troubles falling asleep, that kind of thing. But the one that I listen to most often talks about having your guiding light with you throughout the day, and
Mm,
coming into the highest version of yourself,
yeah.
because that's where I am right now, and that's where I want to continue living.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy to share the meditation actually in my workbook that I'm doing with the book. I'll hopefully get the permission to share the meditation with everyone.
Yeah.
If
Yeah, I'd
not,
love
I'll
for
put
you to
it
put it in the
in.
chat link when we, post this. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great meditation. The lady herself is an author as well,
Um,
about, I haven't read her book specifically, but it's about overcoming life's
mm,
challenges in a,
mhm.
you know, in a positive way.
Yeah.
So,
So meditation for you is a bit of self check-in too.
mhm,
Checking in with yourself with like, what are my needs right now? What might I be struggling with? And then and what do I want to realize for the day or bring
mhm,
about during this time? I love that. Thank
yeah.
you for sharing that.
And I think a big piece of it too, it's part of my morning routine, or whenever I
Okay.
can do it, is the journaling too. So
Okay.
I've just purchased a resilience journal, but I journal it almost every day anyways. But this one has guided prompts at the top. So, you know, different things to help you recognize how resilient you are, and how much you've accomplished and how much you've gone
Mhm.
through and come out on the other side. So it's
Yeah.
about recognizing, and I think that's the most important thing that I've learned throughout this transitional time, is that I need to recognize my accomplishments so far and not be so hard on myself for what I haven't done yet. And
Amen,
that's,
sister.
yeah, that's the
My husband
compassion.
gave me that piece of wisdom just last week. I can't even remember what it was that I was down on myself about, some bullshit. And
Mhm.
he's like, "Hun, you're about to publish a book."
Yeah,
Like,
that's a big deal.
come on.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
Yeah, we tend to look into the future and like, oh my God, I haven't done this, this, and this, and I'm supposed to be, marketing my book already, and it hasn't come out
Right.
yet, and I haven't done
Yeah.
this, and I want to do all these things, but we just need to stop, take a pause,
Practice
breathe
the
in,
pause.
and just, yeah, the compassion, um, and just recognizing that you've done a really good job so far. So
Yeah.
let's enjoy that. Don't rush ahead into what hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Good job,
taking the
you. Good
time.
job, you. I love that.
Yeah,
Is there anything also with, like gathering in community or connection around yourself that you've found to be important for you during this time?
absolutely. Yeah. So I realized as well that I needed to find people that were like-minded, that
Thank
have
goodness,
either
yeah.
already published a book or are life coaches as well. Also people that can, encourage and support me in this journey. So um, specifically, I met and started speaking to another mom, like a mom friend. So my son is in the same grade as him at school,
Mhm.
as her son, sorry. And they've known each other since daycare. So, but we had never connected at other than that so and so's mom.
Yeah.
So I reached out and I said, hey, what do you think about like I think we maybe had gone for coffee once before I did this, and
Mhm.
I'm like, how what do you think about exchanging life coaching uh sessions for each other, because she's fairly new as well.
Oh,
Like,
neat.
I would offer you some sessions for free, in exchange you would practice your coaching on me.
Yeah.
And that's what happened actually. It kind of organically came up in conversation before I approached her like this, because we would sit at my house for coffee and we'd end up talking about all these psychology concepts and
Yeah.
things that were just like most people don't dive
Y
deep
deep
into
dive
these
into love that,
psychology.
yeah.
Yeah.
But because
So
you were cued into the opportunities of looking for community, you
mhm,
could see that as an opportunity.
yeah, exactly. And now that I've done that, and she was absolutely open to it and very excited. Now that I kind of initiated that, we're number one, we're both each other's clients for real, like
Yeah,
paid
awesome.
clients.
Yeah,
And
wow.
number two, we're building a friendship, which is beautiful and
Yeah,
really powerful, because finding like-minded people is not easy when you're later in life.
yeah,
I won't
amen.
like
Yep.
say my age specifically, but we're around middle age somewhere. And
Mhm.
uh, it's not as easy because I'm from out of town, and so is she. So you have the people that you left in your hometown,
Yeah,
and
of
you're
course.
still looking for community in the new city, right?
Yeah. I find it really challenging too to find people in my stage of life who want to talk, who want to dive deep, who want to talk about the depth of not soccer practice and not what color curtains you want to put up and not, I
Ugh,
mean, I just, all the things that
yeah.
are lovely to talk about over brunch or whatever, but like I like that deeper dive too. One of the things you and I really want to get this in before we are at time, but you and I were talking beforehand about the
Mhm,
idea of being having a flexible mindset.
mhm,
And you had shared with me how that's helped you going into this liminal space. Can you say more about that?
mhm. Yeah, so I think I have the advantage, if you will,
Yeah,
uh,
good word.
because I've always been sort of never black and white, like things are either this way or this way. I've always kind of lived in a gray space because I don't I think it came from childhood for sure because I was raised by very black and white parents. So
Yeah,
I wanted to not be like that. So
yeah.
I consciously kind of opened my mind to different things that weren't typical for someone that was raised in the 80s by authoritarian parents that went to church every Sunday and had, yep, me too. Yeah.
There's
So
a
I've
lot of
always,
us out there.
yeah. So I think like that typical upbringing, I didn't let that change who I was as a person. And as a person, I'm very flexible and open-minded and curious about things. So I think it helps me navigate through times of change more easily, and it's not something like you can learn to be more flexible too. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
So people who are listening to this or that we talk to after the fact, you can learn how to be more flexible. And during this specific time of change, it's allowed me to think of multiple options, multiple opportunities, and not just one single thing. Like I have to go from my government
Yes.
job to life
Yeah.
coaching, and it
There's
has
only
to,
one way this is going to come out successfully. No.
yeah, it has to happen from, A plus B equals C or whatever.
Right, right.
It's not, I'm not doing that because that would basically end me up at Len. I would end up in the mental hospital.
Right,
That's what I
right.
was thinking. I was like, oh
Seriously.
God.
Yeah,
Because that pressure, there's so much pressure there. But if you can have a
exactly.
flexible mindset and think, um, there's a lot of outcomes that could happen
Yeah,
as long as I'm working towards something that
yeah. I've got
matches
this.
my authentic self, and I'm following the path, then it's going to be okay.
I
And
love
I'm
that.
going to
That
be
is
okay.
that is a
Mhm.
perfect note to end on. I love hearing you say that. That's I think one of the biggest messages I try to get across in my book is there are a lot of ways that this can be okay. There really
Mhm.
are. And once you trust yourself and love yourself,
Yeah.
you've got this, Yeah, love it. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight, Laura. Love hearing from you. Blessings on your transition, and I cannot wait to read your book. And for everybody
Thank
else, I hope that you will listen in on the next Liminality interview. It's going to be on um, the liminality of life change, and we'll talk with another author, Doreen Durka, from our group. And until then,
you.
keep being your authentic selves. Thanks so much.